sign up for the app. Now, I know in some areas, because being an Instacart shopper is becoming more and more popular, some areas are currently on a wait list. Now, that wait list, honestly, the time that you're on there varies. I've seen people be on there for a few days, up to a few months, that they still have been waiting. So if you just applied and you're waiting, honestly, be patient. Maybe try and look at a few other places that might have a few options in the meantime. So obviously stay patient. Once you guys actually are approved, Instacart will then give you access to your account. And then I do want to suggest, right when you're picking your profile picture, please be mindful that you want to pick a tasteful picture, because your customer can actually see that photo of you. So if you look a little crazy, then you might have some people that are like, I don't really want you shopping my stuff. So I would definitely be mindful of that. Just use a professional looking photo, one that doesn't look obviously out of line or anything like that. So once you went ahead and done that, on this right hand side of the screen, I will have a little scrolling picture for you guys, so you can kind of basically see what I'm talking about as I'm going through it. So when you guys first log into your Instacart app, you are going to see, if you click on the little account icon, which is the last little one on the right, you're going to click on account icon, then you're going to click on batch eligibility, and then that batch eligibility will give you a list of things that they suggest that you do in order to get approved for having more access to a lot of batches, heavy pay batches, that kind of thing. So then Instacart can actually start showing you the batches that match. So as soon as you get your Instacart shopping card, the green one, I highly suggest you activate it, because it's night and day with the amount of stores that you usually see versus once you have your physical card. Now, just because you have it's kind of weird. Just because you have your physical card doesn't mean that some of these locations, like, you can't use the digital wallet. Most of the stores I shop at do allow access for the digital e-wallet to be used, but obviously just make sure you have it on you, in case sometimes the e-wallet just acts a little goofy and doesn't allow you to have access to use it every now and again. So, and then after that one, make sure you get yourself some insulated bags. Now you can see right on here there is a little course that says insulated bags. You just watch a few videos. Obviously Instacart's all about making sure that you stay informed as a shopper and doing the best practices that they recommend. So then you just follow through all the prompts in the videos. It really doesn't take that long. You can have everything done, I would say, in less than an hour, even if you're lollygagging with those videos. So just go through the whole list. With the insulated bags, you can either get them from Instacart. I know currently at least you can get the insulated bags from them, and you can see their requirements right here on what your insulated bag needs to be able to, what criteria it needs to meet. So you can see those right here. If you're going to be purchasing your own, then you would just hit access more batches. You would click on verify your cooler bags, and then, or either verify your cooler bags or buy approved ones. Now, if you're going to be buying approved ones from Instacart, then that means when you buy it, if you click buy from Instacart, as soon as you do your first batch, and then you have money in your thing and you try to do like your payout or whatever, then they'll just deduct it from that. I think they were like $30 if I'm not mistaken when I got mine. So I did that. Obviously I did the alcohol one. I have like all of mine on there. But just make sure you actually take your time and pay attention to that stuff. So once you have everything set up, then you'll be able to see what batches are going to be in your area. Okay, so now that you guys can also kind of like watch this step by step with me, you can see an example of once you hit go online, it just gives you some batches that are in the area. Then you can click on those batches and see, hey, what is this actual order for? What are the contents of this actual order? Did the customer tip? What's the mileage? So then you can obviously make the best informed decision on if this is going to be the right batch for you. So once you obviously find a batch that you're like, you know what, yeah, I could do this batch, I'm going to do it. You're going to click on it and you're going to hit accept, and then it will pop up and it's going to see this little screen right here that says transitioning your batch. So once it transitions your batch, it's then going to tell you, please head to the store that you need to do the shopping at. So you're going to navigate it in your phone, whatever, go there. And then as soon as you get there, I recommend don't hit start shopping yet. I always, again, I will scroll down where it says transitioning batch. I'll scroll down and I like to preview again what the actual items are, because sometimes Instacart doesn't show you all of the items that are on there. And then I like to pre-map in my head, okay, awesome, I know that if I'm shopping at Wegmans, I know that the produce is right when you first walk in, and then the bakery's on the left, and then the dairy and stuff is on that back wall, and then all these other aisles are over here. So I kind of have in my head where I need to start first when it comes to shopping. And then obviously as you guys start finding the items, then you are going to click on the item. You know, you can see on here there's some oranges and other produce and stuff on here. Once I find those, some of them will make you scan them, and then some stores will make you actually weigh the actual items as well. If the customer's asking for a specific quantity of something, then you may have to weigh it as well. But obviously it'll prompt you in the app. The app, they try to make it pretty simple, so it's very easy usually to navigate. The only times it can be a little confusing is if it pops up and it says, oh, the customer wants a replacement, and you're like, okay, awesome, and then you message the customer and the customer is like not replying. So then you just kind of pick a replacement and you wait for the response and you continue on, and then they're like, oh, actually I don't want what you selected. So then it can be a little tricky trying to navigate. Okay, so I have to adjust this one and click on this, you know, to try to get it, but it's not really that hard. So we already talked about that. You pre-mapped it. You can see all the items that are on there. Once you start navigating and you start shopping the entire order, you can see on the bottom there that it has your time and then it actually has the goal time. You want to try your hardest to stick to the actual Instacart goal time, so then you can meet the time criteria that they have for when this specific order is due by or delivered by. Now, I will say take that time with a grain of salt, because before you start your orders, before you start shopping them, you want to click on the actual like more information on that particular batch, and then you can see the delivery instructions that the customer set, if there are any, and then it will also tell you, oh, this order is due by 5:45, this order is due by 4:15. So then in your head you're kind of like, okay, awesome, because sometimes that particular time they have in the app isn't necessarily the exact time that the customer was also provided, but they obviously want you to be on time with your orders, so that obviously it looks good on you, your ratings, you know, you're not delivering food hours and hours behind schedule and not making any money, and then your customer's like, what in the world, you were supposed to be here at 2 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, what the heck happened? So shopping, I will also message my customer, and I usually do the short and sweet, or I have like a custom one that I'll send to them, letting them know, hey, my name's Angela, I'm shopping your order. If there's anything additional that you need, please let me know. And then when I am also completely finished, I found all the items, I will also go ahead and, you know, send them a little message and say, all done. So then they know, perfect, I'm done shopping for your order. There's no confusion on, because sometimes it doesn't necessarily tell them. It will just say, oh, you can't add items. So you have to be kind of cautious, because I had one the other day. I just so happened to say, I was getting ready to send her a message saying all done, and it said, oh, your customer added such and such. But I went back and I knew for a fact in my shopping list that item never got added. So I sent the customer a message and was like, hey, did you add these dental flosses? I was like, because in my chat it tells me it, but it's not actually on my shopping list. I was like, do you need those? And she was like, yeah. Please give me, she said, please, can you add those? So just kind of pay attention to that chat, keep your customer updated, nothing crazy. The items, it will transition you to the checkout process, and then you'll just follow the checkout process. It will tell you whether you can use the Apple. If you have an iPhone, I will say Apple Pay, you can do it with that. Or if you need to use debit or credit and you have a special PIN number you need to type in, that kind of thing. What you're going to do is you're going to scan the customer's receipt. It might ask you how many bags did this order take depending on where you were shopping at. So that's something to pay attention to. After you have taken a picture of the receipt and it transitions you to the next step, you loaded the groceries in the car, you're going to hit the button that hits start delivery. It will show you again the little customers. If there's a little box that says delivery details, if they want it left on the porch, because you do have to pay attention to that, because when it comes to Instacart, we're not supposed to leave orders just at people's door if they don't have it in there or pre-selected already. Once you hit confirm arrival, it will pop up and say, oh, this order is already pre-approved to be left at the door. Or the customer will have it in their delivery note, says leave at glass sliding door. So then you don't have to ask them, oh my gosh, I always recommend even if the customer has it in the delivery note saying it's already like okay to leave it at door, make sure you guys are taking a picture of the items being left at the door. I always try to include the actual address in the image. So if it's like, I don't know, 8510, then I will make sure that 8510 is in the picture if it's like on their door, realistically, so that I can ensure myself that I really did deliver these at the correct address. So that's just another word of wisdom. But other than that, I tried to keep it simple, to the point, and direct. Have a great day, guys.